CIL 650, in association with Tom Lucas Productions, presents Radio Real Estate.
A house in the middle of us.
And now, here are your hosts, Bill Macklem, Andrea Jock, and Tom Lucas.
Well, let me see. Bill Macklem is here. Where the heck is Andrea?
I think Andrea took a flight.
Oh, she's gone south?
Gone south.
She's gone south. She's down in Mexico.
Yes, for a wedding.
Yeah, for a wedding.
For a wedding.
No kidding. Well,
I think she's like a matron of honor or a bridesmaid, whatever. She's in the group.
so that means the two of us have to hold down the fort today. Is it?
While she's imbibing and celebrating.
Sure. Okay, Bill. First of all, let me ask you a question as a mortgage broker.
Yes.
Would you purchase a home with a stranger?
No.
Okay, let's see what our listeners have to say about this.
Going into something blind is completely stupid. You're looking at a minimum $500,000 investment, maybe several $1 million.
Probably not, no. I think that's a little too far. Isn't that supposed to be a big step, buying a house together? Probably wouldn't do it.
The Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver says it hasn't had any cases like that reported here, but with the average housing price around $800,000, a lot of people are still looking for options to figure out ways to get into the market.
So they agree with you.
Yes. I've actually had friends, not my friends, but friends of two people getting together and said, look, we're going to buy this place and we're going to fix it all up. We're going to do all this good stuff. And I always say to people, you know what? It's easy getting in with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
What's your exit clause? Because if you don't have an exit strategy, you're toast.
I remember when I was 15, I wanted to buy a car, my first car. And I said to my dad, I'm going to buy it with Jerry, my buddy. And my dad says, no, you're not. Now I know why.
Oh, yeah. It's just,
now you know why.
And you know what? And we do it for what we think are the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the absolute wrong reasons.
At the time, they're the right reasons, but they become the wrong reasons.
Absolutely.
Right? Oh, my God. Hey, listen, you've got a friend that's in the hospital, not doing too well.
Yeah, I got a buddy, Phil Cote, out of the Tsawwassen Remax office.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been sick in the hospital since last Friday. So I just want to give a shout out to him. And
So I hope he gets well soon.
Wife, Gail, and obviously his son, Bruce and Chris. So, yeah.
Yeah. So get well soon, my friend.
Get well soon, buddy.
Yeah.
But we got to go do some more hockey. We're going to be driving somewhere. I think we're driving to Victoria this year. So all the way.
Really?
Well, it's in February though, so it's going to be really tough weather.
Oh, that'll be tough. Last couple of weeks, I was in the hospital, as you know. You
Yes,
came
I
in to
was.
visit me.
Well, I
Thank you.
wanted to say congratulations to you too.
Thank you very much. And they do have lovely food up there. I was really sick. Bill Macklem is
No
here.
kidding.
He's president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. He's the radio real estate resident mortgage specialist. You're going to be on the show. You have the mortgage rate update in a few minutes. What else do you want to chat about?
Well, there's a real change in the way banks are lending their money, and we want to kind of go through some of the details of that. 25-year RAM, 30-year RAM, how they set their rates, high ratio, conventional, all that kind of stuff. So we want to kind of get a bit into that because we want to make sure that people know there's a difference between, hey, this is a great rate. Oh, you don't qualify for that rate.
It's my life story.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for the free toaster. Our radio real estate home handy guy, Finn Jensen, will be talking about the summer coming around the corner pretty soon.
I think he was pretty
accurate this weekend.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk with building with Mark Jock, CEO of Mark Croft Homes. I met with him last Friday. What a terrific guy. He knows all my friends, so I had to be nice to him. Our new home specialist, radio real estate renovation chap, is Mark Jock.
The question is, who bought, you or Mark? Okay, we'll talk about that later.
No, I think Andrea did.
Andrea bought.
And
she could afford to go on vacation at that, eh? Listen, if you missed one of the programs or one of the segments, please go to our website, which is RadioRealEstateShow.ca, RadioRealEstateShow.ca. Download the podcast. You can hear Bill talking about whatever, or Andrea, whenever she's here, she talks about whatever.
Oh, yeah, she's good at it.
Mark will be here, and he'll be talking about who paid for the bill.
Exactly. Monica Dina-Briga, president of Mummy Maze, chats about an environmentally friendly. You know what? She always says these environmentally friendly.
Exactly.
You know what? I actually want to not have an environmental friendly thing just so I know what not to use to help keep your drains running great and smelling fresh.
Yeah, I've smelled your drains.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah. I was worried about that.
Pay attention. Pay attention. The Radio Real Estate News headlines are coming up. The headlines that made the stories this past week, I will give the stories. Bill will give his expert opinion on the program. Norm Holmes, who is the vice president of Pioneer West Acceptance Corporation, will be on the line. And today he's going to be talking about what's good for you. How can you put Pioneer to work for you?
And, he is a very smart man.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got some great opportunities there.
And it's like he knows numbers like that. Numbers.
He's quick. He's quick. Our mortgage question of the week is coming up. And if you have a question, please leave it on our website. Our website is RadioRealEstateShow.ca.
All right, RadioRealEstateShow.ca. It's the Radio Real Estate Show and Smooth and Easy, CL 650. Bill Macklem is here with the weekly mortgage rate update. Billy, let me ask you, is it still a good time to get some money?
Oh, man, it's not so much as a good time to get money. You just got to convince the banks to give it to us.
Oh, I see.
It's like they have these potloads of money, and it's really, really inexpensive. Your variables are down to 2.2. I just saw one the other day down to 2, which is a 0.7 off the prime. That was really great. You've got some fixed rates down as low as 2.49, which is really great. Of course, some of these are CMHC insured. We're going to get into some of that. But there are some great rates being thrown around out there, and I just still think it's a good time to buy. I mean, I'm talking with a client that's buying a place up in Nanaimo, and he was looking at a $340,000 home, and by the time he got his bid in it sold for $410,000.
So they have money out there. The rates are good. It's just a little bit difficult to get a hold of.
Exactly.
So go see your mortgage broker.
Please.
Yeah. Hey, Bill, what's your address, by the way?
My address is 15388 24th Avenue. Some people think I'm in the city, and some people think I'm out in the valley. But we cover the whole region.
So you're kind of in between.
Yeah, I saw a client last night up in Denny's on Broadway and Birch. So we'll go anywhere to meet people. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, boy. In the next segment, Bill will answer your mortgage question of the week. We examine the Radio Real Estate News headlines, and we speak with Mark Jock, who is the CEO of Markcraft Homes. We'll talk about new home building and the process you go through.
You're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house, Radio Real Estate, on CL 650.
CL 650. We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
Well, before we get to this week's question, Bill, I think this is the last weekend of May.
I can't believe
that means June is coming real soon, and you have to change your sweater, start wearing the short sleeve sweater with the very Ivy League belt on it.
Well, I like this one here because the moths have got to it, so it's really holy.
It's okay, we know the Pope. This week's question comes to us from Penny Duncan of Comox. Penny says, building a home is very different than buying one, as you know. Is there such a thing as a builder's mortgage available?
Well, thanks, Tom. That's a good question from Penny. Key question there is builder's mortgage. So that's not you. That means you're going to get someone like a Mark Jock, and you're going to hire a contractor who's going to oversee this whole thing. Because most of us as individuals don't know a whole lot about building a house. Secondly, you need to have a budget. You need to have all your permits. You need to go through the process of getting your permits. And then you need to get a building permit, which can take anywhere from 4 months to a year. So you need to have all these things. Then when it comes down to the money part of it, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. You can do like a draw mortgage because you have enough equity somewhere. So you can do a draw mortgage, you already own the land, so that makes it solid. And then you do a draw mortgage, and you'll have like a excavation stage, and you'll have a stick stage, then you'll have a lockup stage, and then you'll have another stage. So normally about a 4-stage draw. What most people don't realize is that it's prime plus about 4 or 5%. You're paying interest on the money as you use it, so it's a draw all the way through. What a lot of builders are doing these days is they're actually utilizing some of the stuff that Norm Homes would provide, which would be a mortgage based on the value of the property today, and give it to you as one lump sum, and you'll pay about a 6.99 rate for that, maybe a 7. But you have all the money now, so you don't have to wait for those different stages. And so maybe you have more costs at the upfront stage and less at the back end stage, or vice versa. So you can manipulate your money whatever way you want. So when you get so there is a builder's mortgage available. The banks have them. They're a little bit cumbersome at times, but more and more people are using them, especially if they have someone to supervise the actual building.
So that's good news for Penny then.
Yes, very
Absolutely.
much so.
So if you want expert mortgage information online, we suggest you go to BillyMac.com. That's Billy with an I. Not a Y, MAC.com. Nicely done, eh?
Yeah, that was very nice. I like the emphasis on the different syllables.
Different syllables. Number to call, 604-684-4663. What's the number, Bill?
604-684-HOME.
I'll build it all. I'll build it all. 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 Build it all.
He builds it all. He builds it all.
He does. He does a great job.
He does. His name is Mark. His last name is Jock.
Mark Jock?
Mark Jock of, Markcraft Homes. Mark, are you any relation to the girl that's missing today?
I happen to be. How are you doing, guys?
Good, Mark. Good to talk to you again.
Mark, I understand that you had lunch with Bill. You had lunch with Bill this past week, right? Who paid for it? You or Bill?
I don't recall.
I see. Okay.
I think we got Andrea to pay for it.
I think Andrea picked it up. You know?
I think she did.
I think she got off the hook. I think just had a cup of coffee, so she did well by me.
Well, no wonder she could afford to go down to Mexico then.
There you go.
Yeah, one of the important things about building, and of course we have our building guru on the line right now, Mark Jock. Mark, it's the budget, right? Talk to us a bit about the budget if you're building a new home.
The budget, yeah. Well, of course, that's everybody's favorite subject when it comes time to analyze where you want to go with your building and costs. So we've talked about the soft costs a little bit in the past weeks. So you're looking at the overall budget for homes nowadays. We look at the soft costs involved, which all the architectural, the structural, the geotechnical work involved, the environmental, the hazmat remediation, all of those things. And typically, they're going to run about $100,000 to $125,000 per home if you're dealing with a knockdown of an existing residence. Okay, that's kind of a ballpark. The actual, although I hate to talk about square foot values because it's just it's only a ballpark, and we like to evaluate by actually having our trades and suppliers quote on actual architectural drawings and the structural, so we know what the real meal deal is all about. But depending on where you're building and what kind of home you're building, we'll prepare that budget, and then it's basically bank ready to, as Bill was pointing out, to be able to go to the bank and analyze what your requirements might be based on your equity going into the deal.
Yeah. And I think you're absolutely right. I think one of the things that we always kind of get concerned about is you hear a wide range of square footage costs. You got guys that'll pay up $180 a square versus somebody that's paying $350 a square. It's just like, and nobody understands the difference.
Well, absolutely, Bill. And the problem is that different builders have different formulas and different concepts of what might be the allowances in a deal. So where we might put in $100,000 for kitchen cabinets, another builder might have $40,000. Or where we have a lighting allowance of $25,000, somebody might have an allowance of $5,000. So really, it's a matter of trying to analyze what the requirements are for the customer and what is his budget. So if the future homeowner or client can have a good, trusting and transparent relationship with their builder, they should be able to try and match the two components together, what the owner's expectations might be and what the realistic costs might be.
Now, Mark, I was thinking about having a swimming pool put out in the back of Cabo San Lucas. Give me a ballpark on that?
No, what? Tom, did you say a what pool?
Yeah, in-ground pool.
Or an in-ground pool? I thought you said a pole.
Never mind, Bill.
What you're into.
Never mind.
Well, it's really interesting what you're saying about the contractor or the builder like yourself. I think, from being a mortgage broker as many years as I have, I think the most important relationship, other than your wife, obviously, the most important relationship you've got is your builder, because they're going to make sure that you don't overspend, because they're going to be they're going to be your nag, so to speak.
Well, absolutely. And, when I think you don't want to go into a relationship that's based on antagonism. So every time you turn around, you're going to be asking the client or the owner for more money. And this is an extra and that's an extra. And those kind of things happen when I think you've got an unrealistic contract to begin with. So it's really, really important, first of all, to develop a relationship with a builder that you can communicate and feel good about. So you've got a good, open, transparent relationship, and that follows through with the whole building process.
No, I quite agree with you, because I've seen some of the builders that I've come across in the past, and they've got like these little pokey windows, and then the guy says, "Well, those are That's not what I was thinking we're going to have there. We thought we were going to have like a floor-to-ceiling windows, and so their expectations of what they were going to get versus what they're paying for is like totally unrealistic.
Totally, yeah, right. And that's where the problems. That's where the problems crop up. That the paperwork, the specifications were not spelled out properly to begin with, and expectations weren't met. So, yeah, it's a process that takes time. But if it's done properly, the experience can be fun and rewarding. I mean, fun is important. It should be an experience that works for everybody.
Mark, I was thinking about that swimming pool at Cabo San Lucas. If I was to have your picture in the center of it, any deals?
Well, I wouldn't do that. I think
see.
you can find a much better face. But I tell you what, I'd love you to send me down to Cabo San Lucas, and I'll build it for you.
We'll take care. Hey, Mark, what's your telephone number?
Might take up to 5 to 6 months, Tom.
Well, it could do. What's your phone number if I want to get a hold of you before 5 or 6 months?
Okay, for our office, 604-461-2560.
That number again, Mark?
461-2560, Monday to Friday.
Be there or be square, right?
Be there or be square. And Bill, we got to do lunch again, but this time Tom's going to pay, okay?
Absolutely. We might have to meet somewhere closer, though. We might maybe at the Cactus Club over there on Lougheed.
There we go.
How come nobody invited me last time?
It's too early.
You know what? I don't think you were feeling good.
Oh, I was in the hospital, wasn't I? There.
Yeah, and I hope you're feeling better.
Thanks, buddy. I hope you are too. Oh, you weren't sick. Sorry.
I wasn't sick. But you guys have a great day. I'm heading up to Soyuz here. I'm just about there.
Well, you have a good time and say hi to the family for us, and we'll talk to you on the show again next week.
Absolutely, Tom.
Thanks,
Bye,
Mark.
Bill.
Hey, Mark, take care. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks, bud.
Bye-bye.
So I got to pay next time, eh?
Yes.
Okay, I see. Well, coming up, we're going to chat about the real estate headlines that made the news this past week. We're also going to speak with Norm Holmes, the vice president of Pioneer West Acceptance Corporation. He has some great opportunities available for us.
Yes, this is Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklemores, with producer Dwayne Johnson and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Radio Real Estate Vancouver's original on-air open house on CL 650.
CL 650.
Norm Holmes, the vice president of Pioneer West Acceptance Corporation, is on the line right now, and he's got a little story to tell us. Hey there, Normie.
I'd like to explain the difference between what I call turtle versus rabbit investment strategies. Have you ever had a friend tell you how they made a great return on a stock investment? They brag about it and make you feel like your investments are inferior to theirs. Most of the time, people who brag about their best investments, they don't tell you about their investment losses. Like asking a golfer how their game was, they'll tell you at length about their birdie, but they'll leave out that triple bogey on the back nine. In the mid-1990s, I took some financial planning courses, and the instructor, who was himself a long-time successful investor and financial planner, told us it was nearly impossible to get a long-term rate of return higher than 6% historically. Remember the story of the turtle and the rabbit? The rabbit was faster, but rested on the race, whereas the steady, slow progress of the turtle won the race. This is the same with investments. A good, steady return of 6% year after year, when compounded, becomes a large investment fund over time. This is Norm Holmes, Radio Real Estate.
For more information, call Norm Holmes at 604-987-1420. That's 604-987-1420. Or visit pioneerwest.com. That's pioneerwest.com.
Thank you, Billy. It's time now for the Radio Real Estate News headlines. Here are the stories that are making the headlines this week. Finding an above-ground condo in an urban neighborhood in Montreal or Halifax or even Chicago for under $1,000 a month is a breeze, Bill, but apparently not so here in Vancouver.
No.
No.
There's a lack of supply, and the supply that's there is being taken off the market because people are making that much more money off it.
I see.
Well, for example, you've got the one that's happening in Surrey right now, whereby they're taking the roller rink that's down there at the terminal for the SkyTrain, and they're going to put in a high rise there. So they're over the next 2 months, they're going to allow people to do the final skate at. I never skated there myself because I wasn't born here, but I heard there was a great roller rink, and they're taking it down.
They are.
More money.
Good Lord. Mansions are available for rent. As the craze sort of calms down a bit, a lot of people are, they're they're renting those mansions, Billy. What do you think about that?
Well, they are renting the mansions, but it's funny. You hear the fact they're renting mansions, and so therefore, they must be cheap, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. No, I'm just looking right now. So your renting is they start at $4,000. That's in Richmond. If you get into the city, you're talking about $20,000 a month.
What?
Yeah. Executive luxury estate, furnished 10-bedroom house in the Southlands at $20,000 a month. You got another one in Kerrisdale for $7,000 a month. Yeah, they're renting mansions. Yes, that's right. They are.
You have any money available for renters?
Not a chance.
No, I see. Okay.
Not a chance. So it's kind of deceiving what they're saying there.
All right. It's likely the largest debt of your life. How can a person pay down their mortgage? We've talked about this, but let's talk about it again even faster.
Well, you can pay it off faster by going biweekly. That's called accelerated biweekly. So if you look at any calendar and you go biweekly, there's actually 26 biweekly payments in a year. If you divide that by 2, that's 13 months. So what's actually happening is you're actually making one extra month's payment every year. And because we all get paid on it biweekly, we kind of lose track of the fact that there's actually 13 months in a year based on that promise or premise.
So therefore, you're making a couple of extra payments a year, right?
Exactly. So if you had a 25-year RAM, you're probably down to about 22, 21, depending on your interest rate, depending on the amount of mortgage that you have. So that's one way of doing it. You can also do it by when you buy your RSPs, you get a refund. So if you buy an RSP and get a refund, take your refund, pay down your mortgage.
Or call Billy back after the show. A large residential and commercial development has been proposed. Are you ready for this? For Eagle Crest Golf Course in Surrey. Eagle Crest. What's going on?
Well, I've golfed on a golf course. And there's a couple of holes whereby when you're close to the driving range, or not to the driving area where you're driving for the next hole, you should be wearing a hard hat because there's a bit of a cross there. So it's a tight area. The one across the street is much better. Eagle Quest is a nice course, and it's got a great facility, but it's kind of like it'll be better for housing than it would be for a golf course. So
you don't want to live there in case Bill's golfing and he puts the ball through your window.
Oh, absolutely. That's a target.
All right, here's a good question for you, Willie. Strata corporations. Let's talk about strata corporations. Do they have the right to come into my private property?
Yes, they do.
Really?
Yes, they do.
Really?
They have to. Can you imagine?
No.
So you're gone on a holiday down to Cabo with Mark. With Mark, they were building the pool.
I don't want to go with Mark.
And well, you probably don't. But anyways, you're down there with Mark, and your toilet leaks. Your hot water heater springs a leak, and is gushing water not only in your area, but now it's starting to leak through to the field below you.
I see.
So they have to have the access. They have to have the ability to get in there to fix it, to stop it. Otherwise, it's going to cause huge millions of dollars of damage.
I see. Okay, so we should do this again next week, maybe, eh?
I think it's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea.
To see you.
Yeah.
And that Dwayne guy, is he new?
Yeah, he's a new kid.
Because he's really good.
Doing a fantastic job.
I think so.
Yeah, Monica Briga is here, and you like to listen to Monica because she has environmentally friendly, made-at-home ways and solutions. Today, Bill, she's going to talk to you about keeping your drains running well and smelling fantastic.
I was worried about you the last time smelling my drains. I've never seen anybody do that before.
Never?
Never seen anybody.
You never had your drains cleaned, eh?
Yes, right.
Maybe you should see the doctor.
I think I should. This is Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages, with producer Dwayne Bishop and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Radio Real Estate on CL 650.
CL 650. A little bit of Monica in my life.
A little bit of Monica. Yeah,
I like that one.
You like that?
That's
It's pretty good. Yeah, you got to take notes?
Yes.
Because I've smelt your drains at your house. And apparently you're going to rip down your house and build a new house.
Apparently.
So you better get some new drains.
I sure as heck hope so.
Okay, well, you pay close attention because Monica has a way to keep those drains running smoothly and smelling great. Monica?
Hi, here's an idea for a homemade drain cleaner that's safe for your septic tanks, too. At some point in your life, the kitchen or bathroom drain clogs and water backs up. Horrible, unpleasant odors can be unleashed. Lye-based drain cleaners are usually used, but these toxic products can damage your pipes as well as your lungs. There are natural homemade drain cleaner solutions you can use. Here's one: 2 cups of baking soda, 4 cups of boiling water, and 1 cup of vinegar. First, remove all water from the sink or tub and pour in 1 cup of baking soda down the drain. Make sure that the baking soda goes down the drain. Next, pour 2 cups of boiling water down the drain. The baking soda mixed with the boiling water dissolves the sludge and gunk in the pipe. Even if you don't see it happening, just wait a few minutes. Now pour another cup of baking soda down the drain, then add 1 cup of vinegar, and plug the drain immediately. If you're unclogging a double sink, plug both drains. You'll hear sizzling coming out of the drain and see bubbles foaming up. When the bubbles have died down, add the remaining boiling water down the drain. Repeat the process if necessary. This can be used as a monthly treatment to prevent future clogs too. Simply pour a cup of baking soda down the drains, followed by boiling water. If the drain remains clogged after the homemade cleaner, you might use a small plunger for sinks. The baking soda and vinegar loosens the clogged material, freeing the gunk, and should start moving around with the plumber's sponge and the pressure. Fill the sink with enough water to seal the plunger around the bottom against the sink. Push down fully and pull up quickly. Repeat if necessary. This is Monica DiNabrica for Radio Real Estate.
Bill, last time I went to the doctor, how come he didn't mention, that baking soda thing? He just said bend over and put his glove on, snap, and there you go. He says,
I think maybe you need to do that with something that is metal.
He said my drains were clogged.
I know, that's not wrong drains. Mummy Maids will clean your castle with no hassle. Call Monica at 604-533-4959. There's Mummy Maids at 604-533-4959, or visit mummymaids.com. That's mummymaids.com.
Now, our co-host of the show, Andrea Jock, is away today. She's in Mexico.
Yeah.
You've been to Mexico. Lovely place. Lovely place.
Lovely sun. Like much like today, sunny, bright.
Little less expensive down there, though, isn't it?
The food is cheaper than here.
Uh-huh.
And so's the alcohol. Just got to get there.
How about medical attention? Is that cheaper, too?
I think it's pretty good.
It's pretty good down there.
Yeah, that didn't see too many people get hauled away, but I think it's pretty good.
You didn't get Montezuma's revenge, eh?
No, I was very good at that.
I see. Well, it's Radio Real Estate. If you want to buy or sell in the Tri-Cities, we suggest you call our cohort, Andrea Jock. She's with the Pinnacle Group Real Estate Marketing people. Her telephone number is 604-783-3124, 604-783-3124, or visit pinnaclegroupmarketing.com. That's pinnaclegroupmarketing.com. Now, coming up in the program, in the next segment of Radio Real Estate, we got some really interesting things. Bill, you'll be chatting about?
I'm going to be chatting about the different ways that the different banks are now charging interest rate based on either down payment or amortization.
Now, you're in touch with all these banks and loaners all day long. Have you found anybody that's giving away the free toaster yet?
No.
Darn. We'll keep working on that. We're also going to speak with Tim Redpath. Tim is the CEO with Redpath Relocations. We'll talk about springtime and summertime moves.
This is Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages, with producer Dwayne Bishop, Tom Lucas. You're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house, Radio Real Estate on CL 650.
CL 650.
Well, this house was for sale. It's been sold, and guess what's pulling up in front?
Redpath.
Great big truck. Redpath Relocations is moving, and look who's driving the truck today, none other than Tim. Tim, how are you?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Fine, Tom. Thank you.
Nice to talk to you again.
Yes, you as well, sir.
Yeah, so, how are things over at Redpath Relocations these days?
Oh, just trucking right along, sir.
Oh, very nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Last time I talked to you, you'd moved into a brand new location. Your company was growing.
Yeah, we're still on that remarkable growth path. We've been on our own for just about 3 years now.
Good for you.
Yeah, and just going the right direction.
I've been to their plant, and it's fabulous. They've got a great staff.
And it's clean.
It's clean, and they've got great storage. If you're looking to store some stuff or anything at the time, they look after that as well as moving. So, they cover all the front.
You go and see Tim or Josh, and they'll give you a nice cup of coffee, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, summer is here. It feels like summer anyways. The end of spring and summertime is here. People are moving. Do they have to do anything special, Tim, in the summertime when they make a move?
Well, not anything more special than any other time that you're doing a move, but, if you're making the informed decisions while you're choosing your mover, then you're off to the races in a much safer manner. A few things that you might want to be looking for when you are choosing your mover is make sure that they have insurance. Make sure, and you can ask them for a copy of their insurance certificate, right, so that you can see that they have it. Another suggestion I'd like to tell you is that the summertime does seem to be predominantly busier for movers. That's based pretty much on the fact that people the moving's dictated by house sales, which is dictated by people wanting to move in the summer so that they're not breaking up their kids' school year. So whether or not you even have kids or not, you're going to be subject to those possession dates that are dictated by those that do have kids.
Makes a lot of sense to me, right, Billy?
Sure. So what you're doing when you're looking for your movers, not only for insurance to make sure that they do carry it and compensation, or WorkSafe BC as they're called now, you also want to make sure that they actually have an office and are actually a business. There's a lot of what we would call a fly-by-nighter who may just have a truck and doesn't really have a company. He's working out of his basement kind of thing. And the chances are that with those limited resources that company's going to have, if something better comes along for them after they've secured your business, they quite often will choose to go for something better and leave you high and dry on the side of the road.
Tim, what you're saying is if a guy shows up at your front door, he's dressed like somebody from Sha Na Na, and he goes, "Hey, do you want to move?"
That's pretty much sums it up where I'm going, Tom. The best piece of advice that I can give anybody when they are choosing their mover is just to go by their place of business. It's worth the drive for you to go there. Just poke your head in and see that it actually is an established moving company and that you're comfortable with what they're portraying themselves to be.
Well, I guess they could go into the Better Business Bureau and maybe check on that. Would that be a good way to check that out too as well, Tim?
Yes, you can. Not all moving companies are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Some are. Another good way to check as well is just check on Google reports or not reports, but Google reviews. People are these days, they seem to put a lot of reviews out there, and you can see who's had the bad experiences because those are unedited and straight from the heart and straight from the hip.
Would Yelp be a similar type thing?
Yes.
Okay. I noticed, too, there are some moving companies, not Red Path Relocations, that's for darn sure, but there are some moving companies that go down maybe to the docks or wherever and hire somebody for the day. You want to be a mover? Sure.
Yeah, once again, during the summertime, it is so busy with residential moving that some of the smaller companies would be struggling to get help, and so and it's not like they're being offered a full-time job to somebody, so they have the opportunity to hire somebody that's only going to be there for the day.
Wow.
To someone who's a long-term employee prospect.
And I would imagine if you needed some extra people, you might get some either the university students or some high school students that are looking for a summer job that you would train on how to handle things like that?
Oh, absolutely. We've got the university students and some high school students as well that usually we get them in during the off season for them for their studies, and so they usually come for a couple, 3 years, and then they're moving on, got their degrees and going on. But we found some wonderful guys there, and some of them actually get their taste of this business and they stay because they like it.
Tim, what do you say to the married couple where the guy says, "Oh, don't worry, honey, I'll get my buddies. We'll come over, have a couple of beer and pizza, and we'll move this joint, no problem."
Yeah, yeah. It's moving and beer seems to always go together, but in real life it doesn't. Right? You're better off to get the moving done. So nobody's dropping things, nobody's stumbling, nobody's tripping. You've got your husband and his buddy, and they're carrying the TV out, and one of them trips, and down goes the TV, lands on both of them. So now you've got a broken TV and two people that are not used to being movers that are injured and potentially even losing work.
And it just proves that the TV is smarter than they were.
There you go.
Yeah. Listen, if you're moving pets, what's a good idea if you're moving pets? Don't put them in a moving truck, right?
Oh, no. You want to definitely get your cage. I guess it all depends whether you're moving long distance or locally, or Tom. So if you're just moving locally, then put your cat or your dog into your vehicle in the kennel or whatever you have, and to transport them and just move them along. If you're going long distance, then it's anybody that's traveled with pets knows that there are certain restrictions, and if you're going to put them on the airline and whatnot, then they can accommodate that type of thing.
Tim, what about the children and the grandchildren?
Not a good time ever to have kids around when you're doing a relocation. If you can just imagine, if you can visualize a box in front of your arms, that you're carrying, you cannot see down right below you. So anybody that's less than, 3 feet tall, you're not going to see them as you're walking.
What you're saying then is don't let Johnny or Mary, who's only 2 feet and a tall half, don't drive the truck. Not
at all. Let the people of smaller stature kind of clear out and let the movers do their work.
So I know that you folks have a packing group that will come in and pack, but let's say that people want to save some money and they're packing boxes on their own. One of the discussions I've had with a number of people, and I won't mention any names, is that they should be uniform size boxes, not any boxes you get from the liquor store.
Or banana boxes.
Absolutely. Once again, too, it depends whether you're moving locally or long distance. If you're moving long distance, you definitely don't want to be going with your liquor store cartons and stuff. All reputable movers can supply you with the packing materials that you're going to require. They are in a standard size. Most of them are logoed. And they also come with the proper paper for packing and anti-static bubble wrap, whatever the task is that you're up against, right? If you're doing oil paintings, there's particular paper that you have to use in front so that it's not going to absorb any of the oil from it. So there's just a whole bunch of things that need to be considered when you are doing the packing. Professional moving companies will also, such as us, will offer full packing services where we'll come into your home and put everything into cartons and then deliver it and take everything out of the cartons for you. So that is available.
Tim, every time I have you on the air with us, I like to play the devil's advocate. What are some of the strangest things you've ever moved? Give me a couple of strange things you've moved.
Well, the strangest one that we did one of the strangest ones we did, it just happened 2 days ago.
No.
Yeah, we're installing over 500 plus rooms of hotel furniture into a large new development that's happening here in the city. And they ordered from Asia a giant bear. So this bear was too big to fit into a regular-sized container coming across on the ocean. So it was on the open container to sit on the very top of the vessel where nothing could be stacked on top of it. And we had the challenge to get this large ornamental bear off of that chassis and down onto the ground where it needs to be.
So Tim, this was a pretend bear, not a real bear, or was it a real bear?
Well, it looks like a real bear, but I'm pretty sure it's made out of steel.
I see. They were talking with Tim Redpath. He is the CEO of Redpath Relocations. Timmy, if somebody wants to get a hold of you to talk about a summer move, what number could they call?
604-945-9910.
That number again is?
604-945-9910.
And the other question is, where's your son Josh today?
My son Josh is down unloading the big bear.
Oh, he's working on the bear, is he?
Yes, he is.
Okay, well, at least he's working.
He's working very hard.
Timmy, thanks for being with us. You have a wonderful day and have a wonderful summer. I'll talk to you real soon.
Sounds good, boys. Thank you.
Thank you. That's Tim Redpath. He is the CEO of Redpath Relocations, and there's a lesson to be learned there if you're thinking about making a move.
And they're great guys. I mean, we've known them for years. I've been down to their plant. We've had a couple of coffees and lunches together, and just quality people looking after your needs on your move.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities are Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life.
Yeah, we're bringing the bare necessities of life. We have our mortgage broker extraordinaire, Mr. Bill Macklem, with us on the show as usual.
Thank you, Don. That's
What's
very
going
nice
through
of
your
you.
mind today, my friend?
A lot.
Other than hockey?
Oh, yeah, we won't go there.
No, go LA, go LA. It starts tomorrow. Okay, sorry.
I think it's Predators.
No, I think it's LA.
Predators.
That's LA.
Okay. If you want that done, it's your show. We'll say it's LA.
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
All right, what's on your mind?
We're going to talk about rates and how you get them.
How do we get a good rate?
You know what? It's a little frustrating. This is new. I've been doing this for 30 years. This is new. So we now have banks giving you one rate for a 25-year AM mortgage. And if you take out a 30, then they kind of upcharge you a little bit. Or if you're buying a revenue property, they're going to upcharge you a little bit. If you decide that you're buying conventionally, which means that you have enough money for 20% down or more, they'll have a little bit higher rate. But if you're a high ratio, which means that it's secured by a CMHC insurance, which means that's the government of Canada. And so what the government of Canada is, or what the banks are saying is that, gee, since your mortgage is backed by CMHC, we're going to give you a better rate. So what they're doing is they're taking advantage of the fact that this is a guaranteed product, and so therefore they're saying, well, we'll give that to you as long as you pay the CMHC fees. But that means you're buying less than $1 million, because you have to have 20% down after you hit $1 million. If you have between $500,000 and $1 million, you got 5% of the first 500, 10% of the difference. But you still have a CMHC insured mortgage. So at $999, you're still CMHC insured if that's what you want, and you'll get these rates. And you only get a 25-year AM mortgage on that one, because if you have less than 20% down, you only get a 25-year AM. Whereas if you have more than 20% down, you get a 30-year AM. And the reason why you want to do that, you want that flexibility. People are buying homes. A lot of them are husbands and wives, or soon to be, and it's likely, as we've seen over life, that it's likely that they may have some children. And so if you have a 30-year amortization, even though you have both people working, you can change that by going biweekly and increasing your payments. But if one of them is no longer working, you can go back out to the 30-year amortization, lower your payments to kind of compensate for the fact that you've lost some income, and so therefore you don't get yourself in trouble.
All right, now here's a question for you. Let's suppose a couple had their kids. The kids got old, got married, and moved away. Now it's mom and dad in the house by themselves, and they don't really want to move. Is there something they can do?
Well, they can do a reverse mortgage if they want to do that. They can do a number of things, matter of fact. They can actually, if they still qualify, they can get themselves a darn good interest rate and a darn good mortgage, and they can take some money out of the house to maybe they want to give some money to the kids to buy their own house. They can do that kind of thing. So you have that ability right there. So therefore, that's one of the things, as long as they're still working or have an adequate enough income to compensate for that, to qualify. If they don't, and they want to, let's say they're 65, 70, and maybe their investments didn't do so well back in the 2008, 2009 drop in market. So what they can do then is they can do what they call a reverse mortgage. And the reverse mortgage has two components to it. You can either just have a mortgage or just have no debts. If you have enough equity in it and you're old enough, they'll actually pay you a stipend on a monthly basis so that you actually have another income stream.
And apparently they cost you nothing.
No, it doesn't cost you a thing.
It's a good thing. So listen, if you want to get some expert mortgage advice online, you visit our friend Bill Macklem. His name is BillyMac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y. MAC.com, right?
Absolutely.
What's your telephone number, Bill?
Telephone number is 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
In the next segment of the program, we'll hear from our Radio Real Estate Home handyman, Finn Jensen, who says summer is just around the corner.
This is Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgage, with our producer, the illustrious Dwayne Bishop, and Tom Lucas. Always happy to see you. You're listening to Radio Real Estate on CL 650.
CL 650.
I'm fixing a hole where the rain gets in and stops my mind from wandering. I'm filling the cracks that ran through the door and kept my mind from wandering.
It's the Radio Real Estate Show on CIL 650. Smooth and easy. Time now for the Radio Real Estate Home handyman. Guy's name is Finn Jensen. He's on the line. Hey there, Finn.
Good afternoon, Tom, and good afternoon, everyone. We're rapidly approaching the beginning of summer. These last days before the said event are scant, and we'll have to count if we're not to be running into catching up in the last days of spring. Already, there is accelerated activities. Homeowners and professionals are gathering momentum to assure projects are not left until the last moment. Summertime is sacred, the most of which is scheduled to be spent with the family and enjoying one's home. Should it become clear that more time is necessary to complete a task, it is not a disaster. Summers are long enough for both work and play. But ideally, 2 ambitions is enough when enjoying warm weather, the job and the home. Extra effort like renovations are okay. To get the most out of where we live, we learn to delegate and compromise. So to save time, it means calling on a real estate professional to help find more free time. This is Finn Jensen for Radio Real Estate. Talk to you next week.
Thank you, Finn, for your seasonal maintenance. Be sure to call Finn Jensen at the Gentech Mechanical Installations. His telephone number is 778-378-2740. That's 778-378-2740. Ask to speak with Finn. I'm talking with our buddy Bill Macklem. Bill, you didn't grow up in Vancouver. Was it Winnipeg you grew up in?
I grew up in Winnipeg.
Did you have like a P&E or a C&E there?
Yeah, we had the Red River Rex.
The Red River Rex.
Exhibition.
Oh, exhibition.
Exhibition.
And when you were a kid, your parents took you out there, obviously.
Absolutely.
What were some of your favorite rides to go on?
Oh, I love the roller coaster.
Did you like the roller coaster?
I love those.
Did you go on the pony rides too?
When I was much younger, I went on the pony rides.
I was kind of hoping you could take me out to the P&E this year and take me on the pony rides.
They won't let you on.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's an age restriction.
Oh, is there really?
Yeah.
I'm not old enough yet, eh?
No, you're too old.
Oh, I see. Hey, listen, people are coming in to see you at your location out there in West 24th Avenue in South Surrey. And sometimes you have parents. Now those parents have children who are thinking about buying a house. And you can help them out too because I think part of your job as like a realtor, you build relationships, right?
Absolutely. Try to do that long term.
Mm-hmm.
I've been very fortunate being involved with all the realtors I've been involved with up to this point, plus yourself with the radio station, along with Dwayne. And so what we find is that people come to us and they actually ask for more advice than just doing straight mortgage. Most people would think that a mortgage broker, all you do is come in, get your mortgage approved or not approved, and you're gone.
Yeah.
That's not what we do. We're trying to find out where you're going to be 5 years from today, not just today. And if you have children and they're thinking about buying, let's start the process now. My cousin from Kamloops, for example, her daughter wants to buy, but she's not ready because she has a probationary job that's going to be up in about 3 or 4 months. So she said, well, should we start now or start later? I said, start now. Accumulate all the documentation we need to make sure that what we're saying is true. Because when you go to the lender, you want to make sure that all your documents are in line. Because they need, for compliance issues, the lenders need to have all the documents.
I find it very interesting because when I was 24 years old, which was like yesterday, I went into the bank and I spoke with the general manager about getting a mortgage. And he didn't ask me the questions that you asked. No. He just talked about the bank's products. You asked different questions.
I'm trying to customize a lender to your needs rather than getting you to fit into the needs of the bank.
Makes sense.
So I'm trying to make sure that you're looked after. So, for example, I was seeing clients last night in the city, and we're talking, and so they have a great mortgage, and that their lender, which we placed them with, has offered them some great rates, but that lender doesn't have what they call a line of credit that's attached to the mortgage, and that line of credit then becomes at like prime plus a half, so that's a good rate. And I said, so what are you planning on doing? What do you want to do? And they said, well, we're thinking that if we could, we'd like to move out to the Okanagan, but our jobs aren't ready yet. And so we don't know. We're really confused. We don't know what we should do. So I said, well, we could stay with the existing lender, which is absolutely fine. And we don't get paid on that. That we only get paid on new money. So if I keep you at the same lender, the bank doesn't give us another trailer fee. That's you're the bank's product. So I said, but we can also let's look at what you could buy keeping this property, and what you could buy if you decide to sell this property and just buy in another place, whether it's on the island or it's in Kelowna. And so they said, well, that's really great because we're really confused. We're not really sure what we want to do. They both have great jobs, and they got good credit. So they just don't know which way to go. It's a confusing time. They're just got engaged, and they're just thinking about where they want to go. And so they just need someone else to talk to.
So during the week, if somebody would like to talk finances with you, how do they get a hold of you, Billy?
Just give me a call at 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
Our house in the middle of our street.
Or on the web at
billymac.com. That's BILLI, not a Y.
YMAC.com.
And also you can call Diane at my office, and she looks after my appointments because I'm not allowed to touch the schedule.
No, and I was talking to your mom there the other week, and she said she has a batch of cookies coming up soon.
You know what? You have a real close line because she just told me that last night.
You see?
Yeah, I know that.
Now you know who your mom likes better, right?
Good.
Yeah, that's right. So you can be back. Are you going to Mexico next week or not?
No, I'm not. I'm here for the duration.
You'll be here?
Yeah,
Andrea's back next week?
Andrea's back
as far
next
as we
week.
know?
Yep.
Dwayne, you're back next week?
Always here.
He's always here. I might as well come too, right?
Well, it wouldn't be the same without you.
Thanks for saying that, buddy. You have a great week. Happy June just around the corner. This is Radio Real Estate. We'll talk to you all next Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. Until then, thank you. Bye.